Evening class. We're going to be reviewing our readings for this week. Anselm, Proslogian, and Aquinas. Have a few notes here I'm going to refer back to. In the Proslogian, Saint Anselm explains his ideas about God using reason. He is famous for the argument which says that God is that than which nothing greater can be conceived. Anselm believes that this perfect being must exist because it exists makes it greater than just existing in the mind. He describes God as eternal, unchanging, unchangeable, all-powerful, all-knowing, and the greatest good. The Proslogian combines logical reasoning with prayer, illustrating Anselm's concept of faith seeks understanding. It concludes with reflections on God's mercy and a human longing to know Him honestly. So, man, after reading this, Anselm, it hits home to me when he goes to talking about how he describes God as eternal, unchangeable, all-powerful, all-knowing, and the greatest is good. And man, it's like me whenever I talk about God and whenever I preach by saying that God is the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. Like, he gets it. Like, he understands who the God that we serve, okay? And the Summa, Aquinas defends the idea that theology is a science. He said it is a scared science based on a defined revelation and reason with principles given by God that make it both logical and authoritative. Aquinas also presents his 5 philosophical reasons for believing in God based on looking at the natural world. Number 1, everything in motion was started by something else, leading to a first mover, which is God. There must be a first cause that in itself was not caused. Number 3, because things come into and go out of existence, there must be a necessary being that causes all beings. Number 4, different degrees of goodness suggest that there is a most perfect being. Number 5, the order and purpose and nature indicate an intelligent designer. These arguments support believing in God through faith and reason. So I love how Aquinas, how he puts it. You know, he's kind of get the mindset of thinking in a science mindset, but also in theology. And he's trying to put it by saying, you know what, like if you want the reason, here's the reason, but also here's the faith. So here's the science of why there is theology, how it all comes together. I love his mindset on that, okay? So Anselm identify some questions that he had. Can God's existence be known through reason? And that's kind of a theological question. And a physiological question is this: what does it mean to exist? Okay, Aquinas, some questions that he had. What kind of knowledge is theology? And this, is theology a science? Okay, some arguments. Anselm, I guess I'm saying that right. I have a hard time saying his name. But in his reading, he said God must exist. He argues that even the fool who says God does not exist can understand the concept of God, but a being that exists is greater than one that exists only in the mind. Therefore, if God exists only in the mind, we could conceive of something greater, but that would deny the definition. So God must exist. And he's trying to say, you know what? Like, even a person don't believe in God, like he knows deep down within his soul, like God does exist. Like his soul longs to know whether there is a God or not. And his point is saying, you know what? So therefore, God must exist. Like there must be a God if a person even has that mindset, right? So Aquinas, his thing is this: theology is a science. Aquinas argues that theology is a science because it proceeds from the first principles revealed by God. And you know, he's talking about the beginning of time when God said, "Let there be light." When God created the heavens and the earth. When God separated land and water. When God did all of these things, Everything you see is intentional. And he's saying, you know what? All of that is science. So therefore, you know what? Theology is a science. Like theology was here first. God was here first, and then it was science. Like God created the word science. Okay? That's kind of where he's trying to get the people to start thinking. So a critique, Aquinas, a combination of faith and reason. Aquinas demonstrates that faith and reason are not different. He treats theology as a regular discipline that seeks understanding through both revelation and knowledge. And he's trying to get both of them on the same page. You know what? Like, here's the backup to why, you know, the science is right, but also here's the faith. You know, that theology and science are all on the same base. That faith and reason are all on the same category. A weakness in Aquinas is this: he assumes a pre-modern scientific worldview. Aquinas arguments are based on old ideas from Aristotle, like the concept of motion that transcends from potential to actual view of cause. These ideas don't align with modern science, which raises questions about scientific credibility of the argument. So I guess if there is a weakness, that's one that could be pointed out, because some scientists would say, you know what, that don't align to what we even believe in today, with what we even talk about. Not saying that I agree with any of that, but if there was a weakness, that would be one that I would kind of point out. Okay? Clarifying questions. What exactly does Anselm mean by that than which greater can be conceived? Okay, what exactly does Anselm mean by that which nothing greater can be conceived? And why does Aquinas reject the idea that God exists is self-evident to us? Okay, that's all I have for y'all this evening. I hope you have a great evening. Thank you.